Hey folks. Sorry, OBS is acting crazy. So pardon for a second while I try to fix things up. What a disaster, dude. Yeah, I'm not trying to capture all that. Display capture properties. Let me see what display 30. Nope. Okay. Goodness sakes. Sorry about the delay. Thanks for coming to hang out. Like, as soon as I clicked stream, all of my video devices just shut off. And then when they came back on, my main monitor did not come back on. And then OBS started giving me an error that it didn't have the right encoding to stream. So I just closed OBS and reopened it, and it's fine. A lot of unnecessary drama just to get a stream going. So sorry for the delay there, and thanks for sticking around. So right now we're working on what's the last one we did? Probably okay. I think 15 was the next one we were going to work on. So that means we're halfway through the underworld, because I'm adding about 5 variants to every level in the underworld. And as I do so, one of the other things I'm doing is adding our new teleporter shrine that the underworld features now, so that players without levitation can get through it, but it's still like a different and dangerous way to navigate the world. So I did a little work. I think the last time I streamed, I worked on Underworld 10. And yeah, so I think I did 11 through 14 without you guys. I did that like late at night. I was doing some work and didn't stream it. So this is Underworld 11, or sorry, yeah, Underworld 11, and it has it's just a walled-in graveyard effectively. And so I took a big chunk of the graveyard and said, hey, maybe it could be a walled-in anything that also has some graves. And so A is the graveyard. B has traps which raise the ghouls if you touch the treasure, or if you get close to the treasure. C makes a little like Gravedigger's hut, like a little Dampier hangout zone. So a human is hiding out in this graveyard. D, there's a trapped monster in here. Now it's worth mentioning that if this is a shadow, then it will just leave, because that's how the underworld is. The shadow will just be like, no, I don't want to be in this cage anymore. And then the last, oh no, this is E. This is just a fountain in the graveyard. And then F, I've put this pentagram in here. Maybe I did do this on stream. So this pentagram, if anything gets close to the pentagram or inside the pentagram tiles, then it will summon a demon. And normally demons do not appear in the underworld, and so this is a fairly noteworthy gameplay difference. Sorry, I'm just looking at my desktop audio. It's being captured there. We don't need to capture desktop audio. Okay. So then, Underworld 12. Oh yeah, big long hallways that are, or bridges. It's better to describe them as a bridge. So these are mostly the same, except for that I added teleporters to them. Because just in case, if the exit spawns on these hallways or these bridges, which they very well may, if they didn't have a teleporter on them, it's likely you would have no way to get to them. I made versions of the bridge with like a gatehouse on it, so a blocked off area, and that's where I put the teleporter. And then Yeah, just basically a variant that puts the teleporter on the opposite side of the bridge. This one that makes the bridge more like a series of small islands. And then this one that makes it like a zigzag with in the middle you've got a fountain and a teleporter. 13 isn't too different than this. So same story. Teleporter on one side. Teleporter on the other side. Gatehouse in the middle. Although this one, I left the back of the gatehouse open. When it comes to orientation differences, because the game is in first person, the player doesn't really notice or appreciate the variety that occurs when a horizontal bridge spawns versus when a vertical bridge spawns. So I wanted to make sure that the variants were actually a little bit different. They had something different to them so that they would add more gameplay. This is, again, a series of islands, but this time there's a bridge on both sides. So it's a more uniform island structure. A different gatehouse where like either the front is always or back is always blocked, so you can have some places to hide from imps and shadows. And that's it for that. And then there's this one. This is a map that Sheridan called Hellhole in his original design of the Underworld maps. And that's because in the middle here it featured like a lake of lava, and then on either side there's like 2 sinks in gatehouses that aren't necessarily accessible from both sides. So let's go. This is what the original one looked like, except for I added 2 portals to this one because the gates and the lava actually make it inaccessible, make both sides of it not accessible necessarily. And so because I put 2 teleporters here, this guarantees that the player will have a way to get to both sides of the island if they just teleport enough. And I actually like that. There aren't any other maps right now that have 2 teleporters in them. And so I think this was a good addition. I did think about just making a bridge across it, but I felt like the whole point of this island is that you couldn't get to the other side of it. That's like part of its unique level design that I didn't want to disrupt. This one puts you in the middle and it has a bridge that goes across. This one is similar, but the bridge is on the other side, and I put a lava fall here. Where's that lava fall? Yeah, there. I just thought that would look cool. This one has sort of like a hell space that you get summoned onto. And then speaking of hell spaces, this one actually has another summoning situation where if you open up these gates, then some Fukibai will spawn. So that kind of summarizes the work that I did without you. This is 15. So what we have here is a lava island where if you go for the treasure, then some ghouls will spawn. Not terribly threatening. Not really a big threat of ghouls on this one. But I have to decide like what I want. I have to decide how much of the interior of this I want to place. For the last big square room like this, what I did is I replaced the entire interior. And I think that's what I'd like to do here, because it just gives me a lot more options for how I handle this. And the thing that's really meaningful about the room is that it's completely closed in except for gates on both sides. And so I can really centralize the level design around those ideas. I could do something like even include the front wall in my replacer, so that it doesn't always have to be a gate in front. That's really tempting to do, honestly. Or I could do like the left wall, the right wall that's not always open. So tempting. Tempting. let's go ahead and take the bottom of this. So that means River Styx, he called this. Okay, because it's a lava flow going from top to bottom. So we're going to call this 15 by 14. And this is variant A. Okay, boom. And Underworld 15A. And I'm just gonna actually, I'm gonna go through. This ends up saving me time in the long run. So do I have the right width? I do. I can actually narrow this. I'm gonna narrow this. It's 13 by 14. Because I'm not gonna replace the walls. It's not my intent to replace those left and right walls. And then the top is just this palette. Boom. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and copy paste this bottom wall. Select. Okay. Okay, and we have that's where our gates are. That's Foundation, Melinda, and Bill, all in a row there. All the gates. Man, such good jokes. I'm so freaking funny. And we're just going to recreate these sprites. There's no way really to copy paste them. It's just a normal south-facing chest. And I'm going to go ahead and put pressure plates as the texture around all these. That's not what it was originally, but feels appropriate to warn the player with that texture wherever I can. Gold, 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 gold. Okay. And then we have some gravestones here, 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 and here. And some lightning bolts. I think I can actually just put I think I can save a few sprites and just put the lightning bolts going straight through the middle. Because in every case where you touch one of these, there will be a lightning bolt adjacent to it. So I can actually cut down on the amount of sprites used. Okay, River Styx. It's been recreated. File save as A. Okay, and this one we just gotta get rid of the sprites that we're not using anymore. Actually, I gotta put the torches on the walls. Like here and here. And here and here. I don't want to view all layers. That was confusing. Oh, there's pillars on the right sides. Okay, so this actually isn't a closed wall map. That's really good to know. I had the wrong map mode on before. Okay, I should have checked it like this anyway. Okay, so this is what this room looks like without sprites. Basically some pillars. Okay. Alright, so I'm replacing all these with replaceable map. And then this whole bottom is also replaceable. Select. And boom. Alright, Underworld 15 is set up to be a variant-based map. And we have the original in as variant A. So we're going to create variant B. I am the author of variant B and beyond. Save as variant B. And we're going to come up with some ideas. So the first kind of most obvious idea that I can do here is I can just like make it water. It's not a super exciting change, but it is going to feel dramatically different to have water in here instead of lava. I guess I could make it narrower. I could also put like tile on the floor instead, so it looks different. I kind of want to make some waterfalls too. Oh, you know what? I forgot something kind of important. What's up, Phantomaniac? Good to see ya. Okay, so we put a big dump of water. You know, I really should make like a waterfall and lava fall texture because this doesn't look awful, but it could look much better. I could even make like a ripple texture. It would increase the amount of textures that we're using by like a lot, but like, so what? They're 64 by 64 textures, or rather 32 by 32. Let's not make it free falling. Let's give it a back. Yeah, something like that. And we can restrict it to this too. I just wanted it to feel like it's falling from a height, and so that required like a bit of a ceiling. I think that looks better. Okay, the other thing I forgot is that this needs to have a teleporter location. I think I'd like to bring the headstones closer and increase them to 8 for this variant. Because being that it's water, it's less dangerous than lava. But if we increase the enemy count, then it's like, you know, the danger is similar. Let's move this torch up here. This torch down here. Again, just little differences to give the map a different mood than the original. Okay, so where is our teleport? I think maybe I mean, we could isolate it like this. Okay, so in this version of the room, you can actually get all the way around. That also means that you can't just hide from the ghouls on the island. Well, you could hide on this island, but not on your teleport island. So let's bring that teleporter in here. Let's have it facing north. Okay, now we're gonna go back to A and put a teleporter. There needs to be a teleporter in this room. I think, honestly, I think I want to put it... Like, again, the whole point, or one of the major purposes of this redesign is to make sure the player can get to the exit using teleporters. So I'm going to go ahead and put the teleporter right here. Like, it undermines the design of the map a little bit by having a way across this river. But the real challenge of this room is getting to the treasure, not getting to the other side of the room. And I would have to put a teleporter on each side of the room. So I'd rather not do that. Okay, we're gonna open up B and then do the third variant. Well, it looks like we got somebody else who's streaming Barony right now. Actually doing gameplay. So if that's your thing, my feelings won't be hurt if you go watch Uncle Rorik. He's got a good 24 viewers. That's a good population. Always like to see somebody streaming Barony and having an audience. Alright. Alright, let's abandon this sort of chest in the middle of the water idea. We've exhausted it as far as I'm concerned. And we're gonna treat this room like we have no expectations for it. That's right, we're gonna treat it like it's your rich cousin. That's a little joke for you. A little jokey joke. Alright, we're going to treat this like it's special and unique. Let's put a lever on both sides of this. Okay. This actually remains a pretty good spot for the teleporter. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Alright, now we get to decide what's in this big old room. We got pillars on every side. That's something to keep in mind. 4 down is where one connects. So like we could do here and here. If we wanted to create like another walled space. And then... I'm just noting that that's where those gates are. I could put another... We could put like another lever out here. These pillars are actually not conducive to me making sort of like a puzzle or something in this room because you can get in from any angle. I could put like a puzzle in the center. Like make a little more space for myself in the center here. So that in the central room there's more of like an objective. You know, I could funnel the player like down to the bottom right here. So that there's some central problem. That's not so bad. Actually, I don't really need to block this off. Once the player's in this area, they're like, you know, they're already, you know, there's no other way out. I guess right here. I need to block that off too. So what I'm doing here, if it's not obvious, is I'm trying to set up a space where there's like, I'm in control enough of the space so that I can create like a puzzle. And when I say in control, I mean that the player couldn't enter from any direction, but rather the players, even though they can get in this room from 3 sides, they will always come from the bottom. Because of the pathing I set up. What's up, Grotesque Mannequin? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Okay, so I need this to be raised. I could also do like this. Sort of reinforce that this whole bottom area is just a path to get through to the main problem space here. And so then I gotta decide what problem do we create in here that the player has to figure out what they're gonna do. I mean, I can make another big pentagram. So like a big ritual room, maybe? And the bigger these rooms are, the more rarely they will spawn. And this is a pretty big one. So I won't do another one in this room's variance. Okay, as you come through the underworld and you come to find that there's a big ol' demon shrine here. some pits for some reason. I just felt like pits would be the right choice. Be on the edge of this space. It's otherwise asymmetrical. So what do I want to do? I could create like a repeatable spawning chamber. Where you could just keep summoning demons or something and fighting them. Or I could have like pressure plates around this thing so that if you enter it, then you get assaulted by demons. Something like this. Although I got to be careful with stuff like this because if there's a wandering enemy in this room, then they can activate these traps. It's one of the reasons why I've sort of put them inside of this and then like covered it with gates so that the player has to open the gates before anything gets summoned. Like it's just not a perfect system. For that reason, it actually makes me want to have it be like lever operated or something, because an NPC will never operate a lever unless told to by a player. Let's go ahead and have these gates be openable. That should open all three. Why not? And I've got to make a decision about what I'm going to put in here. It seems like I should always have demons summoned from these things. Otherwise, like, the language about them, what they mean, is unclear. So, summon trap looks like this. What I could do is I could put like a gem in the middle of this, and if the player takes the gem, then 4 enemies spawn. It's actually not that easy to set that up. It requires some scripting, but it's a script I've done before, so I could put like a fancy gem in here. I could also put like parachute in here. So that there's like a chance you could get parachute at this point in the game. I could make it cursed. I could make it a cursed parachute too. I'm like, this is just some random room. So this could show up like twice on the same level. So maybe I should just do a gem. Let's do like a ruby. Rock, granite, ruby. Okay, ruby. Okay, so there's a ruby at the center of the pentagram. All right, let's open up. In the swamps, I had a trap like this. except for it spawned boulders. I just don't remember what level it was. Is this it? I think this is it. Yes, temple. Okay, so we're gonna summon, or not summon. There it is. Here it is. I found it, guys. Okay, so the script is. Let's just word for word it. It'll be easy. So we'll say script attach to equals items. Attach range equals. Okay, I need to. This is 6.3. Trigger if equals attached hashtag dies at power. And I wanted to summon all 4 of those monsters, so it's going to be 5 to 7, 2 to 4. Okay, so just read to you exactly what's going on in this script. The script is saying, hey, look at this item at this coordinate. So on coordinate 6.3, look at this item. And when that item dies, I want you to power all of the tiles from 5... basically 5.2 to 7.4. And when summon traps are powered, that's when they summon monsters. And so if the player like just walks in the middle and like picks up this ruby, they're gonna be freaking surrounded by demons, which is pretty hardcore. I'm going to pick the monster. 14. I mean, 3 demons would be a lot. If one of them becomes Deu Dubro, then you're really in trouble. So I think I'd like to do a demon, an incubus, and a succubus. So this is the most dangerous trap of this kind that we've made so far. Basically, every hell spawn except for the imp. And imps are pretty common in the underworld already, so. This is a scary trap, dude. It's kind of spooky. It's gonna be a bit of a problem. Okay. Yeah, and looking at this one, what happens is it powers 3-1, and 3-1 has a boulder trap on it. So when you pick up this jade, a boulder comes down and then rolls down the hallway. So this is like the second trap of its kind in the whole game. I could put a sign on the wall that says something like, I should put it something in Latin, because it'd be hilarious. Alright, so I wanted to say something like, Okay, so it says Aciperi. Hold on, I gotta do the sign symbol. Okay. So it says Accipere dignamini non quod fieret obtulit dominum aut faciem eius ira. Or aria. I don't speak Latin. I don't read Latin. But I use the translator to translate loosely. Take ye not what has been offered to the master, lest you invoke his wrath. So this is a Latin hint to not steal the ruby. It is a hint in Latin to not steal the ruby. Alright. Which is ridiculous. But it's okay if things are obscure in a roguelike, right? It's just the one demon. And an incubus and a succubus. Okay. That was a fun Underworld 15C. I just realized I'm not going to be able to get much done before dinner time tonight. But I'm going to keep working up to the last minute. Maybe another 45 minutes or so. All right. All right, let's get rid of all this fancy scripting. We're going to come up with a brand new idea. Because that's what we do here. We come up with ideas. And then we realize them. It is the life of a designer. It's a good life. Wouldn't have it any other way. Okay. I mean, I could have the player summoned in. Nah, let's not do that. Let's save some hell theming for the underworld, shall we? Or not for the underworld, but for hell itself. Okay, this is a pretty vanilla start here. I could close in this room completely, or on the back side anyway. Continue some of the lava theming. I like the player being able to open these gates. Why not? You know? Just makes it more better. Why don't I... Why don't I integrate some of this outer design here? And I can make this bottom one all pillars as well. So that it's going to really feel like it's at home. With the outer part of the room. Lava flowing down. Cool, cool. I like it. But I mean that's not enough. I want to do a little bit more with this room. I mean I could hide some treasure in the walls. Put a little gold in those walls. Gold. Boom, boom. The song actually reminds me a little bit of Secret of Mana. This green brick is like only used in the sewers. I think I'm gonna leave it that way. It kind of matches the floor color, but it's just not. I haven't integrated it into the rest of the underworld, and I don't think I'd like to start now. It's kind of a nice open room. I think I'm happy with that. The 2x2 or the 2 wide path everywhere will make it so that, you know, a lot of items or decorations or monsters can spawn. So I don't think we need to complicate it any more than this. I'm actually not going to put any lights in this room either because the lava will light it up just fine. All right. Next, map E. This will be the last in the River Styx variants. Try something a little silly. If I take like a symbol of life and put it upside down, it'll look like that on the map. But I don't, it's just, having something that looks interesting on the map is not a good enough reason. Sorry about that, family business. I just realized that I'm right up against the edge here. I think I need to bring this whole thing down by a tile, unfortunately. Because I wanted this hallway to lead somewhere, but now it's just butting up against nothing, so I'll have to bring everything down a tile. That's all right. Not a big deal. We're going to put some boulder traps in here. Okay. So I haven't done any boulders or really much in the way of traps in my Underworld work so far. So in this one, this is just, I've done this idea. Actually, let's get these, let's get this, the power in here real quick. We need this to power this door. This powers both of these. I really want like a button or something to put on. I'm gonna have to get rid of these. Let's just put levers here and here that go to here and here. Okay. And then let's some trapeze. So the idea of this being that if you come from the bottom, where's the bottom? Down here. The path requires you to go left or right. And if you go left, you're greeted by a boulder trap here. If you go right, you're greeted by a boulder trap here. You know what would be funny is if you get all fancy with your levitation, then you actually trigger both traps. And you're not safe. You're not safe inside the pit. You have to pick one way or another. Like if you stood on this pit, both of these boulders would hit you, which is hilarious, in my humble opinion. And then if you enter through the top, through these gates somehow, like if you use the open spell, then this similar thing would happen. This boulder would get you from this direction. This boulder would get you from this direction. And if you stood on the pit, then both of them would fall. Okay. So I don't, if you step on this one, I don't want that to trigger both traps. But if you step in the middle one, I do want it to trigger both traps, and that's what that setup did for me. So yeah, entering this from anywhere but the teleporter is pretty dangerous. But if you go around the sides, you can get the items and kind of avoid all the problem. And then you've got a monster you can kill. So that's sort of the gist of this little dungeon dungaree. I don't know. I just like little trap rooms. It's likely that most of these traps will be set off by imps or whatever, but that's fine. All right, 15E. In the bag. Oh yeah, I also gave a hallway where you could walk. If you could see the traps in the front and you just wanted to avoid it, you could go around. And that's just fine with me. All right, so we're gonna load up Underworld 16. Open. Oh, and it's just a pillar with a single gravestone on it. So I think like Underworld 2, Underworld 3 is already kind of the same situation. So let's look at what we did there, because I'm fine with doing more of these little bitty reworks, but it needs to be, I want it to be purposeful, and unique. So this one is a pillar. This one is a small island with a teleporter. This one is just a fat pillar with gold inside that's inaccessible. This is a 4-way pillar. And this one is a 2-way pillar. Or a 2x2 pillar. Okay. So So if I do the same thing, do a 3x3 replace, that's not a big deal. I've just got to come up with some more 2x2 and 3x2, 3x3 ideas to add a little more variety. Okay, so we're gonna shrink this down to 3x3. It's called Lonely Grave. That's adorable. Okay, and then we delete this, and then we turn it into a flexo map. We should be able to crack this one out pretty quick. We're talking about 9 tiles for each map. It's not that critical. All right, so this is version B. We're gonna, now I am the author. Save as B. Okay, this will have to be my last map variant that I threw together. There's a style of pillar that I haven't done yet, which is like a little plus. So just seeing a different shape, I think is, you know, when you're looking for kind of like arbitrary little variety, I think a little shape like this is totally fine. Should we hide something in here? Like an item? Yeah, it's a little plus sign with an item inside. Yippee, you know? Now you may recall in, what was it, O2B? O3B? Yeah, I this is a 3x3 and I put the teleporter off to one side because with a 2x3 space, the exit actually could spawn here. So I can make more variants where it's the teleporter's on different sides. But if I put it in the center, there's no way that an exit will spawn there because an exit has to have a 2x2 space in order to spawn. And so there's really no reason for me to put it in the center unless I would like the idea of the player teleporting to a pointless island with nothing on it, which is fine. It's just these are really small islands, and so it's going to happen kind of frequently, and I don't know, it's kind of a death trap to get sniped to my imps. I don't think I'll be impressed by the gameplay that happens there. So let's make all of these inaccessible via teleporter. Or I could do left, top, and right variants to add a little shape, which is, I don't know, that's kind of compelling on its own. Let's do that. It'll be very fast. And what's the walls look like? Okay, just 2 pillars. Boom, like this. And then the floor is just kind of exactly as I imagined it. And then we make a blank here. This song reminds me of Terrytown in Zelda. Let's see. Breath of the Wild is the word I was trying to think of. And actually, this'll complete this set in theory. Unless we want to do something else. All right. 16. That looks done. So let's take a sneak peek at 17 for next time. All right, we got a nice big, like organic looking graveyard island with a pillar on it. So that'll make for quite a bit of variety on our next go. So with that, I'm gonna end the stream here. It's about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I might stream a little later tonight, do more Underworld work. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Thanks again for tuning in. Cheers. It was good having you. Bye.